episode 9 of Two Friendless Friends. My name is Flora and we also have Kelly here. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, so today's episode is... Actually, you know what? I won't reveal it yet because I came up with this topic and Kelly doesn't know about it. So, as we do with every episode, we're going to start off with
our weekly catch-up.
A weekly catch-up, yeah, sure. Okay, Kelly, what have you been up to?
So since our last recording, I got a new monitor. And you know what's funny? I don't think I've told you this story, but I was talking to people and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm looking for a monitor. And everyone thought I was getting a PC, but I'm just connecting my laptop to a monitor so I have a bigger screen to work on at home. And I found that one kind of weird because
But I think you find it weird because in your head, when you know what you want, so you know exactly monitor means a screen. But I guess if you were talking about PC, then you would say, I'm getting a new computer. But I don't know because
not just the monitor.
I know that you wanted a monitor. That's why I can't picture myself thinking about a PC because I already knew you were going to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think other than that, nothing much has happened in my life. My life's kind of boring right now because it's just uni work.
I am dying in uni work.
I'm drowning. I've drowned.
Okay, so that's a nice update because at least it wasn't terrible. It wasn't my God, I'm dying. So what has been going on the past week for me? I guess, okay. So I have, I met these group of people in uni, and although I haven't seen them too often, I only seen them twice, one at the speed friending during O week and one actually in uni. But I don't know, I just really like them. They're so cool. So here's my shout out to Vic and Eva and the rest of the group. Actually, you know what? Yeah. And in terms of uni work, I am actually dying. So that's why I cancelled on tomorrow. So Kelly and I were planning on going on a Costco run with a group of friends, Sam, Portia, Jaden, Sonia, Emma. But that never happened. Well, it's not happening, I should say. Because, just memberships and stuff. But that's basically... Is that the most interesting thing that's happened during this week? I feel so much more has happened.
What else has happened? Oh, we had the launch event for Med Review, which was...
launch
which actually went a lot smoother than I expected. And, the turnout was actually
Except for the ending part. I think it went really well, though.
Yeah, in general, it went really well. Maybe there were other things that we shouldn't talk about. But in general, we got more people than we expected because, we literally were, I don't even know if we were going to hit the 20-person limit that we had booked for.
Yeah, I think we were planning 15 and then we ended up having 20-something people who turned up.
Yeah, we had more people and, so some people left at different times because they had other stuff on.
Yeah.
So it ended up being okay. We didn't overfill the tables that were booked for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty fun. It was a really chill night. Everyone was getting along pretty well. And I'd say it was a success in my books.
Yeah, I'd say it was actually a really good night.
And it was so last minute because I was so pissed because the forecast said it would rain, and what we originally planned was a barbecue at a park. So we had to last minute change everything and book everything, and then on the night it didn't rain a single bit.
It didn't rain at all. But honestly, I think I would have preferred... So what we did was we ended up going to Pool, City Heroes, and we just went dinner in Haymarket. And our original plan was to go barbecue at a park, but I think I would have enjoyed pool more than a barbecue anyway. Plus, I think it probably was cheaper to do pool, right?
Yeah, because everyone paid for their own dinner and all we covered was pool. So it ended up being not as like boring of an event, but not as expensive as maybe a barbecue where we would have to provide all the food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And like our activities wouldn't be able to live up to like people playing pool, no matter how bad we are at it.
Oh my god, we don't even want to go there because actually, you know what? We have video proof of how bad I am. I started vlogging. Yeah, you can check out my YouTube channel. It's not even a YouTube channel because I'm not a YouTuber. I just like vlogging, and it just happened to go online. No, I actually haven't edited it yet, but I probably will somewhere down the road. Not anytime soon because I am dying.
We're too busy.
But okay, so what's the question that you had planned for me?
Okay, so this isn't part of the 36 questions to fall in love with each other, but I forgot the original question that I had planned for ages because it was so long ago. But it was a variation of, would you still date me if I was a worm? But I was going to ask you, would you still be friends with me and run a podcast with me if we were worms?
I thought you were going to say something like if we had beef or something. I was like, oh my God. If we were worms, yes, I would. Definitely. Because we would both be worms, right?
I mean, what if it was just me as a worm? And you are like a normal human and we're just running a podcast together.
I mean, it'd be a pretty unique podcast, you know, Flora and her pet worm, Kelly.
Yep, and this is just insight into what goes on in my brain.
Actually, today I wanted to do something a bit different, which wasn't I wasn't planning on doing a 36 question kind of question. It's actually an activity that I planned like 20 minutes ago when I was in the shower because I was trying to think of icebreaker ideas for our meeting, which is in an hour.
Just over an hour.
Yeah. So, okay. Since you like baking and dessert things, also, guys, you should check out Kelly's Instagram.
I barely post there.
Bakes. Is that correct?
No, it's just BAOBAKS. KES.
There's no dot?
I don't think there's a dot. I don't even know. I'm so inactive on there because even if I do make stuff, I'm just not bothered to like lay it all out and like post it because I just don't think I don't present things very aesthetically. I just make it and I eat it. That's it.
You just make it and eat it. Okay.
Yeah, well, like literally.
Since you are the baking person, dessert, I will let you choose your favorite dessert. So what is your favorite dessert?
To eat or to make?
Eat, I guess.
Oh, to
Is the answer different?
I would say macarons are my favorite to eat. But to make, I don't really have a favorite because I just make whatever I feel like. Like, honestly, I haven't made that many things before. But it's just because at home, no one in my family has much of a sweet tooth. And I kind of, because like carrying the food to people to like uni to give out and stuff, it's such a trek. As well as like
I'll be your taster.
It's just like I don't have as many friends that will congregate together as I did in high school, so I'm just not, I don't see a point in me kind of making much.
That's fair. Yeah, it's a waste of time and energy and cost if you don't really have people to give it, like if no one's gonna be there to eat it.
Yeah, but I also think like I definitely do have some level of talent.
Yes, of course
in
you
baking,
do.
because like it was just like, I think it's just part of like, I could feel it like instinctively, and like it's just every time I read a recipe, I know like if there's something wrong with it on the basic levels, and like I can literally edit a recipe and do it the first time, it'll still work most of the time. There's still like a lot of experimenting, but it's just I just feel like I have the knowledge for like no reason at all. Like I never learnt it properly.
That's good though. I could never. I am really bad at baking or cooking in general, but yeah. Okay, so your answer was macarons, right? So what I want to do,
to eat.
What I want to do in this activity is someone pick a savory, someone pick a sweet. And so my answer is going to be lasagna. And we have to now create a dish together that combines elements of both of them. And ideally pitch it, but don't know if we're going to do that. Yeah.
We don't have anyone to pitch it to.
Our audience.
They can just how would you combine?
Yeah, okay. So how would you combine macarons and lasagna? Wait, are they both... No, macarons are French.
Yeah. Both are like kind of layered in a sense. So there's like some kind of filling in the middle. So I was thinking, what if we made like a dessert lasagna?
Okay, so which... Because there's only two parts of the macarons, which is the biscuit part and the cream part. So which part do you want to use?
Yeah. So like I would use the lasagna as a concept rather than actual like using a lasagna noodles and sauce.
Hey, no, that's a cop-out.
No, that's not a cop-out. It's called being creative and using inspiration rather than directly using the elements.
No, but that was the point of the game. Is that it's hard because you're combining sweet and savory.
I hate sweet and savory combinations.
You're ruining my game for me.
It's like I have a weird thing where I just hate when something is sweet. It is like put in a dish with something that's savory.
Really?
I'm waiting for someone to change my mind, but honestly, so far, no one has. So
not a single thing that you like is both sweet and savory?
No. I mean, you can try make me remember, but from memory, I don't think I
like
do.
Salted caramel.
Salted caramel isn't as good as normal caramel for me.
Oh, I love salted caramel. Okay, then. Fine, then. Okay, but I still want to hear your idea, though. So, if you take the concept of lasagna and combine it into macarons, what is your dish?
So, I would have kind of... I don't know what I would use to replace the noodle. So, I would have the cream, the noodle... It's something soft.
Because macarons are so sweet, though. Like, they are incredibly sweet.
No.
Yes, they are.
You can get ones that aren't as sweet, and you're not meant to eat a lot of them at once anyway.
They're so yummy, but they are really sweet, though, I think.
What macarons are you getting? Oh, wait, maybe that's because the flavors that I like aren't as sweet.
Oh, do you like Earl Grey or something?
Like, I like the dark chocolates and the pistachio.
Pistachio is nice.
It's not, pistachio is less sweet, like, and I like the like raspberry, the lemon, like the ones that are a bit more tangy.
Lemon's my favorite. I love lemon.
Let's continue with the idea.
Okay. Finish this off and then we can
actually stop deviating.
Finish off your pitch to me and then we're going to start on our actual topic,
which I still don't know. Yep. So basically for the noodle, I would probably replace it with some sort of fruit, and because you know how the sauce has some bite to it in lasagna, I would
it has a bit of meat in it.
Yeah, like, so it has a bit of bite. It's not just like sauce.
Yeah.
I would probably put something, I do not know what, in the cream to replicate that kind of feeling.
Oh, nuts?
Maybe nuts. Oh, I don't...
Oh my god,
maybe.
Chopped up pistachios. You know, in a pistachio cream. Whoa.
Oh. Yeah, pistachio cream.
We're actually mark the date, 26th of February. This is when we're starting your future cafe. Like
ideas. And
I
then
found your signature dish.
And then, like, you know, when you bake the lasagna, you get the little crispy bits as well.
Yeah.
Those would be crumbled macaron shells.
But I think when you bake macarons, you already get that. Like, you get that hard, it's not exactly crispy, but it's a bit
It is. It's, like, crispy and then chewy in the middle.
Yeah.
So I would crumble macaron shells to replicate the crispiness of the lasagna's top layer.
Oh, this is nice. I would try it. I would actually try it. I love sweet things. Okay. So, topic is technology.
But in what sense? You're talking to someone that's doing computer science.
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think that kids now are growing up with way too much technology and aren't experiencing like the fun of life, I guess?
It's not about the fun of life, because I generally think that the fun of life can also be found in technology and the world that is changing with the technology right now. I don't think it's the fact that like kids need to go out and play and stuff, because different people will enjoy different things. And like even now with technology, there are still kids that enjoy sports. Like there will always be people with different interests. I think like saying kids not going out is a very generalized kind of thing. But I definitely would say to some extent all of this technology is hindering their growth.
Growth in a social way or like educational? Social, I think we have kind of learnt that we can survive without like physically seeing people, like seeing everyone in a sense, with like the whole pandemic. Yeah.
Like I've realized that I personally, although I'm an extrovert, I enjoy being inside and at home in front of my computer watching something, rather than putting myself at a party or in like a group setting, depending on the people.
Isn't that really what extroverts do? Like not necessarily parties, but it's like you would rather hang out with people than hang out by yourself.
I think I'm on the border, because like I mean, I guess it's not necessarily either one or the other. There's the in-between. I do crave like meeting people, but it's like I love meeting people, but I don't love being randomly put into a group situation. Like I like being able to be somewhat in control, if you know what I mean.
I get what you mean. And I think that's honestly most people, though.
I think a lot of it is my character, because I don't know if you've realised, but I'm a natural leader.
Right.
In the sense that I will... Well, if no one else is willing to lead...
Yeah.
Because I'm okay with, like, following someone, because I'm kind of sick of being the leader. Like, but if no one steps up to that role and, like, someone needs to, I will all the time.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like you always need some sort of direction, and someone needs to provide that direction.
I'd say that I'm
deviating so much.
I know. But it's fine. I'd say that I'm a leader too in a group task situation. I just don't like other people not doing things. And you know how, because I've talked to people before and they're just like, oh, just don't do it, you know, it shouldn't all be down to you. But I think I care about, like, maybe they just don't care about their grades, but I care about my grades enough that like I would be willing to do the entire part for them just so I get my good grade. But even if it's I would
do that though.
Even if it's not in a grading context, I feel like I'm pretty good leader. I do my leadership roles.
our leadership styles are very different. You're very like chill, nice, and relaxed. I'm very angry. I'm just an angry person a lot of the time.
I think it's not true to say I am relaxed. I mean, maybe that's like, what it seems like to the other people, but I stress so much.
Like, not relaxed as in like you personally. I know you stress a lot, but I think it's like the approach that you take to the leadership. Like, you're a much nicer person and I'm a much more harsh person.
Okay.
We're total opposites.
Yeah.
We're actually total opposites.
But not in a conflicting way. Because I've...
Weirdly complimentary.
Yeah, because I have been in, like, a friendship before with a person who's actually completely opposite. And it was definitely conflicting. I just chose not to see it. But I feel like if I'm going to be really honest, I don't think that this, like, our relationship is like that at all. I feel like we get along pretty well.
Like, I feel like there are times that I get pissed.
Yeah.
But, like, I get pissed at everyone.
Oh my god, what is it? What are the times?
I think it was one of the times when you were overly nice and you weren't accepting my, like, really harsh opinion about something or someone. It's usually those situations.
Really? I always think it's situations where I stress and I'm coming to you and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm dying.
You stressing is fine. You stressing is fine because I think that's a natural thing to do. And I find it uncomfortable that I don't stress outwardly like that. When I'm stressed, I just get angry.
Okay, so I was editing our episode and I actually disagree with something that I said before. It was the question about what do we like about each other. And since it's brought up, I'm going to mention it now. But you said that you like and admire how I can be really nice, but I can sometimes be overly nice, right?
Yeah.
And then we went on to the topic about how you said that if someone does something to hurt you, even if you know it's in good, even if you know that they did it with good intentions, you might not forgive them because it still hurt you at the end of the day. Whereas I said that it doesn't matter whether I got hurt or not. It's as long as their intentions were good, then I can forgive. And honestly, like, it's still true. But the part is that I don't think it's a good way to always think like this because it's come back and, like, it's really hard to move on, I think, if you just have this very clear, like, definition of when to forgive someone. And I'm now, like, stuck in a place where
you don't know how to move on.
I don't know what to do. Yeah. Because part of me is saying, like, oh, you need to forgive them because what they did wasn't done with bad intentions. But then the other part of me is saying, yeah, but you still got hurt. So now I'm just stuck here. And it's times like this when I wish I had a bit more, like, the logical side of me. That's just like, oh my god, stop it, get over it. Yeah.
Okay, bring it back
so back to technology though. Yeah, I watched this podcast, Off the Pill. Have you ever heard of it?
I think I have.
Ryan Higa.
Yeah, I have heard of it. I just haven't listened to it.
I really like his podcast. I haven't listened to it in a while, but he did mention, I think they kind of talked about this topic before, and something that he mentioned that I've never thought about before was that people actually rely on technology for happiness, right? Like, people have grown up in this world where you can't just reverse it and just take it away. If you just take away their social media for a day, although they might be relying relying on it in an unhealthy way. They're still gaining happiness from it, I guess. So if you take it away from them, they might just fall into like this really dark place because they need to be able to talk to people on there. They need to be able to like escape the world and stuff. So obviously it's not entirely bad.
I think like in addition to that, like have you seen all of those YouTube videos of like influencers deleting social media for a day and seeing how they feel?
I haven't, but I actually did do that once.
Yeah, but I feel like that never is going to be a true representation, because you know that after this certain amount of time I will be back on there, rather than like it being a permanent takeaway and you having to adapt to the new situation.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and like with your question, not your point, about kids these days growing up with too much technology, I said I agree earlier before we deviated. But this is my point of view. I do tutor younger kids, like kids in late primary school, and I have a younger cousin in primary school who's currently in year 6, I think. And so recently I found a bunch of books from when I was younger. It was like, I didn't have the Harry Potter set. I only had the last book. And I had basically Hunger Games, The Fault in Our Stars, and some books from when I was younger, like the Enid Blyton stories.
Wait, do you still have those books?
Yes, I do. I haven't given them away yet. So I was kind of thinking, who do I know that I can give these to? Because like throwing them away would be such a waste. And I feel like donating them, I would never know if it went to a good cause.
Do you want to donate Hunger Games to me?
Yeah. I'll give it to you another time. But
okay.
Basically it's like, I've heard that donations, they don't actually keep everything. They only keep a really small percentage. So I was just really looking for someone to take them off my hands and would like benefit from them, because I no longer benefit from their existence in my life. So I told my mum to ask my aunt if my younger cousin, whose name I will not reveal, wants these books. And so my aunt put my younger cousin on the phone, and like my mum was asking like, oh, there's like I forgot what my mum actually said, but she's like, oh, there's a lot of books here, like Kelly used to read them when she was younger all the time, they're really fun, and we have like all the sets, do you want them? And my cousin was like, no. Like a very dead straight up no, and like immediate no. She didn't even think about it.
But can you really attribute that to technology? Because books are still a big part of a child's growing up, like even today.
I'd say I can, like I wouldn't say like this is every single kid, because I do know, like I do tutor kids, and like a lot of them, like some of them still do read like really heavily. I have a girl in year 6 reading Game of Thrones. Even I haven't read that.
Yeah.
And like it's like there are kids these days that still read a lot, enjoy reading. I just feel like the technology that's available to them now isn't the best for them to some extent. Like
Do you mean social media?
No, not just social media. Like social media in some sense, like it gives these kids really unrealistic expectations of their future. But I feel like we all had that when we were younger. Like if you asked me when I was like in kindy, what do you want to do? I would have been like, I want to be an astronaut. And like if you asked me in year 2 or 3, I would have been like, I want to be Prime Minister of Australia.
Really? Wait, is that true that you actually wanted to be?
Yes, that is true.
I don't think like that's them being creative though.
But it's just like I wasn't thinking about that in a very monetary sense and like living a good life. And I just feel like the expectation that like these influencers on social media like are very unrealistic for these kids as well. So like the like kind of lavish life, being free, not having to work kind of like expectation, and like kind of there's also a very unrealistic expectation that everyone can make it, when in reality we just don't see everyone that doesn't. It's the same in like the idol industry, which is another industry that's like very heavily influencing younger kids nowadays. Like in some senses, like this kind of exposure I don't think should be happening at such a young age.
Okay, so there's a few things that I want to touch on there, because I think that I did agree with some points. But firstly, how old are these kids that you're talking about?
I'm talking about like up to year 3.
Okay, because I think that it's important for a kid to go through that phase where they can just dream about unrealistic things. Like,
but
how,
I feel
for
like,
example, you know, you
I
wanted
to be an astronaut.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not harmful to do that.
It's just, I think, I wouldn't say like that itself is the main reason, but that is one of my reasons. And I think it's just there's also this negative influence. I don't know if you've heard about, you know, Hailey Pham?
No.
Oh, you don't know her. I thought everyone knew. So she's
Hailey
a YouTuber.
Pham?
Yeah.
No.
So she's a pretty big YouTuber, and I was watching her videos at one point, I think because she collabed with some other person that I watch, or like she was mentioned somewhere. And basically I heard that there was this whole issue with the fact that she dropped out of high school because she started getting success, and she just felt that the high school system wasn't benefiting her at all. So she never finished high school. And I think I don't think that's an issue for her, but to think that there's little kids out there watching her and also thinking that it's okay for them to just not care and drop out of school because they can be like her and earn all that money and just live a life with like riches, luxury brand cars, luxury brand like
Wait, how old is she?
belongings. She's around our age.
Oh, whoa.
Wait, let me double check that.
I don't know, like people, if
I think she's younger than us.
Like people obviously get up to that stage where they realize that there's certain things I just can't achieve, but it's just nice to dream about it, right? And I honestly think that that's what
She's
most
20.
people... Oh, okay.
She's a year older than us. She's born in 2000.
Older than you.
A year and a little bit older than you as well.
Yeah.
But I just think that like this expectation that is available to younger kids is just a bit more extreme, because it's just, it makes them reject everything except for that. Like,
actually, I guess that's true, because I'm now thinking about this year 3, now year 4 guy that I used to tutor, and I remember we went into a conversation about what he wants to do when he's older, and he told me that in year 10 his friends and him are going to move out together and become gaming YouTubers. But I don't think that was a problem. Like, I didn't like think, oh my god, this is bad, because I think that obviously when he gets up to year 10 he's going to realize that that's an unrealistic goal, but right now it's just a fun thing to think about.
I just feel like if even at year 10 I didn't really have like specific career aspirations, so I just stayed in high school and like took the traditional route.
No, but you don't need to know what you want to do to know what you don't want to do.
Yeah, and I think like it's just everyone needs that extra safety net when you don't want to do it, when you don't know what you want to do. Just continue like leaving your options open rather than cutting something off. But like I think some of these influencers, although they themselves have not made bad choices for themselves, it might leave an impression on younger kids that they can also just do that, drop out of school, I don't need education, I'm going to pursue this. But what these kids might not realize is these people had at that point already set themselves up for everything. Like they were already at a stage where they could like financially support themselves, and they didn't need the schooling system itself.
See, realistically, I don't see that happening though. Like it might happen, but like for you to legally drop out of high school, you need to be year 10, right? And
no, you need I think in Australia, I'm not sure though.
No, people did it in my school.
Like I don't know, it's like to legally say that you finished high school is if you finish your year 10, then you get that certificate. I forgot what it was called. And then if you want your HSC, your higher school certificate, then you would have to go up to year 12. But I'm pretty sure you could drop out of school at any point in time because it's a personal choice. I don't think they can force you to go back to school.
No, you have to attend, like you have to legally attend school up until a certain point. And then you have to either say that you are working, or you have to prove that you're working, or you're working towards getting some kind of certificate like going to TAFE for you to actually be able to drop out though.
Oh, they said... Oh no, this is Victoria, but the 17
in 16 years old.
Oh, this is...
No, because I know people who've dropped out before.
South Australia is 16. It's different in every state, I think.
But anyway, my point is just that, like, just dreaming about it isn't much of a problem. And I think, you know, like, if that's your goal when you're a young kid, like you're 10 or something, you're thinking about it, then I think it's parents have to reinforce the idea that education is important. But if you're at that age, year 10, I think
you do have some level of reasonable judgment.
Actually, you know what?
But not everyone does.
You do. Yeah.
I wouldn't say like everyone does. I'd say like some people do. Because even now at our age, I genuinely feel like some people just aren't mature enough.
No, I know, but I think that in year 10, assuming that my knowledge of year 10 dropout thingy is correct, I think that most people understand that education is important, but they drop out thinking education is not for me. No. You know, like they realize, okay, this is, you don't think so?
I don't think that's the case for everyone. I think that's the case that we personally see, but I don't think that would represent everyone. I can't really... I don't think we can really speak for it because we personally don't have that view. But I just think it's like the possibility itself is something that technology has brought about, in a sense.
Something that I can think of growing up is that watching High School Musical, I believed that was what a high school was. And I wanted to go to... what is it called? East.
What? I don't know what it's called.
High.
But I don't remember. But it's like, I think a lot of our expectations of high school, because American media is so dominant in our lives, is the American version of high school and a very dramatized version of it. I didn't have that because I had my older brother, and like I just looked at him and I was like, oh, he's a nerd. Done.
Oh, really? Really?
Okay, but I just don't know. I just don't think we personally can speak that and say that everyone's going to be like us or like the people that we knew. It's just because there's such a wide variety of people in the world, and like their choices would be so different to ours, and we might not understand their choices because it conflicts with ours so much sometimes. But I just feel like technology is, rather than, I'd say technology to some extent is benefiting these kids in like, it removes some redundancies in life, like things that normally you would have to do, but now you don't have to do. It makes lives easier, which is a good thing, but to some extent it's making it so easy that these kids aren't learning the same things or learning in the same way, and that might not be beneficial to them.
I mean, yeah, they're not going to learn in the same way because they have that technology. But I think that it could be beneficial. Like, for example, I guess
it's like it is beneficial, but I don't think it's for everyone. And at the same time, my cousin in Year 6 still doesn't know how to hold a pen properly.
Like the proper way of holding it, because I don't hold it the proper way.
Like none of us hold it the proper way, but like she just doesn't write properly. And I like a lot of the kids, like their work that I mark, their writing is so terrible, or they're really, really, really slow because they're so used to typing.
Right. Yeah.
And like when I tell them, in the HSC or like in high school exams,
do they know about HSC already?
I tell them about it.
How old are they?
They're Year 6.
Year 6.
But like it's like in high school exams, in English exams, you write essays, right? They know about writing essays, and I told them how long my essays were and the time limit, and they were shocked because they barely write half of that. They're not even writing half of it.
Random thing, did you always get new books in English?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, the booklet for essays, how you have that book and then you can be given a second book if you finish it?
I know. What booklet for essays? I'm so confused.
Wait, what? No, like HSC essays, like English essays.
Oh, so like
you're
the
given
paper?
that lined book.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, what book for essays? For exams?
Yeah.
We got just loose paper. And I think usually they put at least like 5 to 6 sheets on everyone's table because they knew that we wrote a lot.
Wait a second. No, for the actual HSC.
HSC?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone in my grade asked for extra paper.
No, but wait, is there no standard for? Aren't you given that booklet, like of just pages?
In the HSC exam itself, yes, but in the school exams, we got the school paper. Like, it literally has the school logo on it.
Oh, we had, like, very similar to the HSC. It was literally in that, like, stapled up, you open it like a book, and there's just lines in it.
Our question papers were, like, identical to the HSC, but not the actual paper that we wrote on, because I think it was, like, it was just for convenience when it comes to marking.
I think my handwriting changed so much. I think I averaged like 6 words per line by the second paragraph because I write
averaged
so big.
10 words per line, and my handwriting is consistent, and I wrote 5 to 6 pages.
Oh, whoa. I think I wrote the same amount, 5 to 6.
In 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It depended on like the topic and which essay it was, because like there were definitely essays that were longer.
Yeah, I don't think I ever properly did like mod B. I think I also, I mean 5 to 6 pages, as in 5 to 6 sheets. Are they not the same thing? A sheet and a page?
A page is one side, a sheet is both sides. I hate when people mix it up.
Okay, this is just weird to me because
a sheet is like a sheet of paper.
No, I know, but like you were given like loose leaf paper.
It was essentially colored. It's color coordinated in terms of which paper it is. So like if it was like module A or like common module, it would be a different color, so that it's easier to tell the difference when marking.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just like a piece of paper with lines printed on it and the school logo. It was the same for maths as well. And like maths would use different colors for 3U, 4U, and 2U to tell the difference when marking, so that they didn't mix up kids' papers, as well as they use different colors at the same time for different grades so that they don't mix up papers as well. It was very coordinated.
Oh. We just had those books.
Yeah, all of our things
I can't even explain.
were...
But you know what I mean by books, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like a
like
booklet.
booklets.
Yeah, and I thought you were talking about like a writing book where like there's exercise inside and you fill that out.
Anyway, so technology.
Oh, have you heard I think apparently they're planning to replace the OC and selective test with like a computerized version.
For real?
Yeah, I don't know if it's happening, but it's a plan. Like, it's like how they changed NAPLAN as well.
Oh yeah, now it's on the computer, isn't it?
And I'm like, at the end of the day, when these kids get to HSE and like...
But what if they change HSC to, you know?
No, it's like school exams as well. I don't think they would change school exams to digital for like quite a few years, because like the actual upfront cost of it is so high, like developing the systems for it to run properly and smoothly, as well as making sure that no one's cheating and just making sure that there's no like random errors or like, oh, if you click a certain option it jumps to a different option and stuff like that.
But I guess like what benefit does writing your essay out handwritten versus computer have on your future though?
I think it's just something we've stuck with for a long time.
Like,
but
I get
at the
that
end
it's
of the
just...
day, I don't think that there will be a time where no one needs to write by hand at like to any extent.
No, I'm not saying that we just throw out every single thing that we need to write with like hand, but I'm saying that like I'm imagining them changing the HSC to being just digital, and in terms of like learning to write fast, and I don't know, do you get what I'm trying to say though?
I kind of do. Like, it's like...
Like, I can't exactly think of examples.
I don't use that skill anymore.
Exactly, because
even
like...
I don't... Like, that writing... I always had very fast writing speed. Like, I was always just, like, super duper fast growing up and, like, in HSC as well.
So what are you not good at, huh?
But... basically, currently, I just don't feel like that's a useful skill to me. It doesn't matter to me, other than, like, me at work doing the test faster than the kids.
Aren't you competing
like,
against, like, year 6?
Like, actually, like, I write all the working out because I have to explain it to them. And I'm also marking other stuff at the same time. So, like, I have to work very fast for that.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't want to bring stuff home to do. Because if I bring stuff home to do, I'm not paid for it. But it's just, I definitely feel like, to some extent, it's a good skill to have, just not to the extent that I'm meant to write a 6 to 7 sheet essay in 40 minutes.
Okay, this is another thing that you brought up before, because you said that your kids who you tutor, they don't, like, their handwriting's really poor.
It's so poor.
Yeah.
And they write so slowly. Like, so I watched... You want me to explain more, or do you have a question about it?
Just explain.
So I watch them while they do the test, yeah.
Who?
So, because I'm the kids. So I'm trying to monitor their pace.
Wait.
To make sure...
What's the word that you said?
What?
Demave?
I watch them while they do the test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I watch them while they do the test to make sure that they're pacing themselves properly, because, like, it's time limit. They need to know how to work. They need to plan, they need to write, and then they need to proofread. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I want to teach them how to pace themselves to make sure that they're hitting all of that and they're not wasting extra time, like either finishing too early or not finishing their writing. And I just see them write and I'm like, It's so slow. They're like slowly forming their letters, but it's not even neat.
Wait, really? like
they write like they're slowly writing their letters, but it's not neat. Like I would. Oh, it's painful to think about. But it's so hard to read their writing sometimes, and it's like I have this one kid, not in the selective child test class, but like in a normal class, and it's like his writing is all over the place and it just looks like big circles and lines. It doesn't look like words. Oh. I've gotten so much better at reading handwriting because of these kids.
Be an English teacher then. You have to be good at deciphering handwriting.
Yeah. It's just like, I see them write like this and I'm like, you've been going to schools for 7 years, because kindy, and you haven't kind of cleaned up your handwriting.
Okay.
At all? Because the handwriting that they had was the handwriting that I expected from someone in kindy.
And because you haven't been a year 6 for a while, what are you basing this against though? Like, what if that's the standard for a year 6 kid and you think that it isn't just because...
My standard for a year 6 kid is either my handwriting when I was in year 6 or the handwriting of me in kindy. And I have those books. I saw them recently. So I can tell. And it's just like, I think as a child for us when we were going through the school system, there was such an emphasis on teaching us how to form our letters. Like, you remember the handwriting books?
Yes. Yeah,
the
with it's the blue one, right?
I don't know if it's the one with like, so like they have the line, they have the multiple lines to tell you like, oh, where your like Y hook should end and like where your tall letters should end.
Yeah.
And like the actual scale, and also like it had the light grey printing for like you to like trace over, and then the blank space for you to write it yourself.
No, I remember in year 1 we did that, and I don't know why I was this kind of person, but I got mad at the other person for looking onto my work, and I told the teacher on them. And then she's like, what are you talking about? Like, there's nothing to copy. Like, you're both just writing letters.
You're literally copying what's written in the book in your own hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like there was such a huge emphasis on that at that point. And then like all I hear from my aunt about my cousin was that one time where she asked us, oh, do kids really need to have an iPad for school? When my cousin was like, I think in year 2-ish, and asked for an iPad at that.
Oh, this brings me a good topic thingy. Not topic, sorry. I completely cut you off.
Oh, that was literally my point.
Wait, okay, sorry. So I was tutoring this girl yesterday, and she's in year 7 right now, and she told me that in her primary school last year, they could opt out of homework. I was so surprised. Like, the school... And I was talking to her mum, and they were saying that, like, they were moving towards a no homework system, and they were allowing people to not do homework.
I think no homework is fine.
Is it?
Because I've seen studies and like comparisons with like places overseas, and like there are schools that don't give out homework, but it's up to a certain age, I think. And it's also the fact that they emphasize, instead of doing homework, kids should be experiencing different things. But from my perspective, like right now, like I think if the kid does opt out of homework, they're just going to be at home gaming or something.
I guess so, yeah.
It just depends what is replacing the homework. Because you always need something to replace it. Like, or try and make the kid interested in some other activities that they can learn about. And like also, that also would allow them to explore more paths. Because I just know now, as like I regret that I didn't kind of do other things as a kid. it wasn't an option for me.
Like extracurricular things.
Yeah, like also like kind of taking lessons in other things, like taking sport lessons, taking gymnastics lessons, and kind of doing stuff that us like learning things that school doesn't teach.
Did you ever have gymnastics in school?
Yes, we had gymnastics in school, but it was terrible.
Yeah.
It's not proper like learning gymnastics kind of thing. But it's just like, I think if you do replace the homework with those kinds of experiences, I think that's justified. But if you replace the homework with the kids staying at home and gaming or watching drama all day, I do not condone that. Okay,
so yeah, I agree. It reminds me of the value of the next best alternative. So I was
opportunity cost.
Don't even no. This is a fun podcast, Kelly. Do not.
OCE equals rise over run in a PPC.
Why did they teach it as run over rise then?
No, they didn't. She accidentally said that. And then when she wrote it, she fixed it.
Oh.
Yes. Pay attention to the lecture.
I do.
Are we keeping this part in the podcast? Randomly talk about a lecture that they have no context for.
You know, if you did it, then you would know enough people will probably know about it. But I was tutoring my student today, and I don't know if this is a common problem or not, but she isn't really good at understanding okay, so basically we were doing graphs and the scale didn't go up. So it went up by 10s. Actually, it went up by 20s, but they didn't put the 10s in. So they put every second number in. And there was one that it was like 35. So it was technically between two things, right? And I was like, okay, what number does 35 fall in between? Like, and I don't know, like, she can't answer that confidently. She tells me like, oh, it's like 65 is bigger than 35, and I don't know how to teach her that it isn't, because it's like, I think this is,
did you say like how to teach her it isn't?
Yeah, that like
she said 65 is bigger than 35. That is true.
Oh, sorry,
but
sorry,
like,
no,
not in the context.
Smaller, like 6. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
sorry, I said it wrong.
Okay, that's concerning. That's concerning.
So she was saying like she doesn't know where like the number 35 falls in between, like which two numbers.
Wait, what grade is she in?
3 right now. I don't know if that's the level of a year 3, but this seems to be like...
Why are you teaching her graphs in year 3?
Like picture graphs and stuff.
Why?
That's stuff that she learns.
What? Without learning number line?
No, like I think they've learned it before.
If they do number line, then she should know that. Then she didn't.
No, she's like
properly learn the number line.
No, like she's learned that before, because in other questions she knows how to do it, but it's like sometimes she gets stuck, and like she takes quite a long time to do like something +2, something +1. You know, like I don't think she understands like 7 is right next to the number 8. And I just don't know.
It's just, I think then she doesn't have the basic foundation for you to move on. Even if she has learnt it before, like she only understands it in certain contexts. So like, it's like you need her to understand it in every single context before you move on. And I don't think that's your fault. I think that's a fault in our education system that doesn't cater for everyone in general.
Yeah. Okay, I have another story about technology though. So back to the year 6 moving into year 7 girl that I tutor. So her teacher right now, I think, is very into the idea that students need to know their mental maths before relying on calculator, which I agree with.
Yeah, I agree with that, although like I don't know my mental math now.
But it's like to the point that they're not allowed to use calculator. It's not like encouraged. And
yeah, that's normal.
The teacher literally told her to find the square root of a 5-digit number, and they had to do this using
It depends what
factor
school
trees.
she goes to, but
and in my head, no, is it normal?
Year 7, no. I taught a year 7 that does have that topic in their class, like to find certain things without calculators. And I do remember in year 7, there were quite a few exams without calculators, because if you do have calculators, it just made the exam way too easy, because the topics in year 7 were that easy.
Really? Okay, anyway though, they haven't even like learnt algebra yet, but they've already...
No, algebra comes later.
No, I know, but they've already started on she's a year 7 doing the Cambridge year 8 book, but they've already started on index laws.
Wait,
but I don't know
algebra,
why.
it comes before indices, because indices you shouldn't do with real numbers, because then the kids will just find the actual value.
Yes. I'm just confused on this.
I'm just confused about the entire education system in general.
This
this
podcast episode is
back
technology
to education.
plus education again.
Because like I do feel like technology has a positive impact on education in the way that there's so many more materials available now to kids. But it's also like, are these kids taking these materials and using them? Because I think there's a mismatch in the current like parents and the current kids, because it's like the parents aren't as familiar with the technology, while the kids are growing up in a state where there is a lot of technology. So the parents would be either more against it or just don't know how to regulate it and how to give them kind of exercises that are technology based and educational.
That's why I feel like we actually grew up in a really good time, like the end of the 90s.
When technology came for us, we were old enough for us to have basic knowledge and then use it for a good thing, and also bad things, because people do game and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember in primary school how you had, I don't know if you had this in your primary school, lunch orders, you put it in this basket and you write your order on this brown paper bag?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
okay.
You write your name in your class and what you want to order, and then they write the total for you and you give them the money.
Yeah.
And at lunch you collect the basket. One person
Plus
in your class
brown
collects the
paper bag
basket for
again.
your class. It's the same brown paper bag, and like they hand out all the paper bags with all the food inside to everyone. Yeah?
Yeah. But like, you know, and I remember, do you remember for SRC's meetings how people would come up with random ideas?
I wasn't SRC, so I don't know.
Oh, wait, you didn't have like meetings within class though? Where like the class would...
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we had this. So it would be the SRC reps, and then they would host the meetings in class, and the class would come up with ideas, and then they'd write it down and pass it on to their actual SRC meetings. And so, like, I remember this person, I don't even know who, but one of the ideas was like, create like a cable car kind of situation so that people wouldn't have to walk down to the, like, carrying a whole bucket of this, like, these lunch orders, and it could just be delivered to the room, right? And it's just
like kind of like really out there and not possible kind of ideas.
Yeah, but like, you know, nowadays you just order online.
Hey, didn't I just say didn't I recently have that suggestion? Like going from upper campus to lower campus.
Oh yeah,
have
but
a cable car around the uni,
carrying people
because
around.
I hate walking up Bassett steps.
Yeah. A whole episode on...
This is a full circle moment.
Whole episode on why we hate walking up from lower to upper. We could just bring in every uni kid in.
We need that. I think we should also start wrapping up because we have our meeting in a few minutes.
Oh yeah, we do. Anyway, yeah. So
do we have final comments?
Final comments is that technology is definitely beneficial. I don't think that it should be taken away from kids, but I think that it should just be utilized in a better way so that they're able to be educated a bit better.
I think it should also be used in a controlled manner. So they're not just using it for other purposes where they would kind of not benefit from it. And also kind of learn bad things. And it's just, there is so much potential for technology. It's just, I don't think there are the means to kind of make it beneficial to younger kids yet.
Like the benefits won't, like younger kids now won't actually be able to benefit from the benefits because they're too young.
Like, I just think it's not that great of an idea with the current setting that these kids are so exposed to technology and like kind of always wanting tech and always like, because tech is so expensive.
It's an easy way out for the parents because, you know, just hand a screen to them, the child is satisfied
and they're occupied for like
Exactly.
hours. But it's also at the same time that kind of trade-off isn't very good in certain circumstances, particularly educational and social, because these kids aren't on social media yet, and they shouldn't be, because they shouldn't be exposed to that world yet.
Yeah, but I think they are.
Yeah.
You know, like even YouTube.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are. Yeah, because they just use their parents' account or they just don't log in and they can still access content. I think on that note, we should be finishing off our episode. So I think I want to do another conversation about technology.
Yeah.
I'll bring this up later with you. But for now, please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow on every single platform, and also rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts and let people know about our amazing content and my amazing questions about being worms and having a podcast as worms, so everyone can join in on that conversation particularly.
Oh my god, I just thought of something. What if we like get big enough that we make shirts that say like, I think we are deviating?
We say that every episode now.
Yeah.
And even now we are deviating
Okay, yeah.
from the end of
I
our
don't think we will realize it though. But yes, thank you everyone for watching and listening to this week's episode. Next week, Sunday, 1 p.m, we'll have a new episode up. So tune in for that. Click the notification bell or turn on notifications by following us on whatever platform.
on Instagram, because we post about every single episode that goes up.
Yes. So thanks everyone once again, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.